After all, resurrection is impossible, isn't it? You'd have to be unhinged to think otherwise.
Sir, have you looked in a mirror?
I went by the name published in the article and French words, I found the man.
Did you? I can't say I remember.
Well, maybe 5 more pounds will sway your memory.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Grace Attorney case number 3 of the second game. Mr. Enoch Drebber is insisting whatever he claimed 10 years ago didn't actually happen. But Mr. Spell over here is like, that's pretty funny of you to say that, because I don't remember it happening that way, but sure. So she's retelling everything from her side.
Why are you lying? What?
To avoid prison. I said nothing of the sort.
You said that you weren't lying? No, you were lying, though.
Which is it?
Look,
Yes.
you're very explicit about the details. About the mask the figure was wearing. And the blood that splattered all over you when he was shot.
And now this is where the camera comes in.
Enough! Shut up, woman. You're making all this up.
That will do. Mr. Drebber,
Yes.
you refute the account just given by Madame to Spells?
I have no recollection of ever saying those things.
Come on, do you really expect us to...
Control yourself, Counsel. I will not permit baseless accusations in my courtroom.
Also, yes.
Right.
Under the circumstances, I think it best that you supplement your testimony with a statement to clarify your position on this witness.
Very well.
Honestly, at that point, I feel like the judge should have just given Naruhodo a penalty just to show the player how dire this case is.
I'm
There
not
was
even
no-
saying anything. I'm just enjoying the show at this point.
I know you are.
There was no gunshot from behind me at all, nor any splattering blood.
Oh,
You
well,
don't
about that.
say.
About that.
We don't even have
this
We don't have press.
handy dandy camera.
Objection.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Damn you, Kodak!
Mr. Drebber, do you remember this camera?
That is the camera from that fateful night.
Yes, we borrowed it from the House of Horrors.
I
you know,
don't think
it's
that's
casual.
called borrowing. That I
We were planning to keep it, so it's borrowing, right?
Yeah, we were planning. They were planning to give it back. It's fine.
I think I shall have to move to my next bust of you quite quickly.
No, it's
No,
fine.
listen,
we didn't
listen,
put a
listen.
ransom on it.
We're literally showing you that we have it. You know we have it, so you know there's accountability, and then we get to give it back to you at the end of this trial. It's easy. Like,
And how do I know you haven't broke it?
Wait, does it even work still? We haven't done anything to it.
You're on
Are you
thin
sure?
ice.
Are you sure it's still working, ma'am?
You're on thin ice.
It's the camera you took with you to the cemetery that night, Mr. Drebber.
And is that supposed to be significant?
This kind of camera is rarely seen in our homeland, so my colleague and I were keen to examine it closely. We noticed that the lens extends forwards on the end of some bellows. Like this.
hold it. What's that? There, just on the bellows.
When was the last time we heard Baroque say hold it? If ever. If ever. Now that I think about it. Hold on.
I like that he interrupted us because he is like, wait a minute, I see where this is going. Screw this guy. I don't care anymore.
He's putting the pieces together now.
I've connected the dots.
Good job, Van Zeeks.
It looks like a dark red stain.
If you said the mic did not pick it up. Or Discord. It's probably Discord. That's right. It's a rather conspicuous mark here on the bellows, in fact.
Good lord, are you suggesting?
Yes, my lord. It would appear to be a spatter of blood.
Something that could be confirmed with a simple chemical test. Isn't that right, Dr. Saith?
It would be difficult to determine if it was human blood and not the blood of some animal. But yes, to test whether or not it's blood at all is simple enough. I propose that Madame Tuspel's testimony was correct, and that on the night in question 10 years ago, you were spattered with blood from the gunshot wound.
Well,
And that furthermore, you really did witness the condemned professor emerging from his tomb.
Girl. Error.
There's simply no way you could have forgotten such a traumatic experience.
Okay, hang on. You know how trauma works, Inosuke.
Yeah.
In other words, the only explanation is that you're trying to hide the fact that you saw the professor that night.
Objection!
It's really funny he talks about trauma this way because the next case, we definitely go into what happens if someone has experienced really bad trauma.
You would never forget trauma unless it's really, really, really bad.
Uh-huh.
So I will say, in fairness to this, yeah, usually you'll forget trauma, except this guy clearly remembered it because then he used it to get money.
Yeah.
So
this guy looked at his own trauma and was like, I can monetize this.
yes, he did.
But why? Why would he want to do that?
Speaking of which, well, not for his own gain, it would seem.
Who's then? Who could possibly benefit?
Mr. Drebber is obviously lying in order to protect somebody.
Oh, my goodness, he's shielding someone.
Hey, he's looking in the direction. Thank you.
Well, maybe, yeah, a little probably shouldn't have done that.
Maybe don't do that. Yes, my lord. And clearly, it's someone who doesn't want the truth about the professor coming back to life to be exposed.
Well, Counsel, who is it then? Who is this witness trying to protect by lying about what he saw that night?
John Wilson.
Is that our job? Isn't that the investigator's jobs?
I should have seen that coming, honestly, because the joke keeps going, but like every time it still makes me laugh when we say John Wilson or John Goodman or something.
Well, Bruce Goodman.
Bruce Goodman. I keep calling him John Goodman because it's an actor and that's the first thing that thinks to go to my mind. Anyway, hi, Courtney. Let's talk.
Wait, John? Wait, the guy who played Fred Flintstone?
John Goodman?
I
forgot that his name was John Goodman.
Yeah, his name is John Goodman.
Just to clarify for me, John Goodman plays Pacha in Emperor's New Groove, right? Or am I like...
Yes,
okay,
John Goodman.
That's how I know him. I think I know him as that, and also I think Sully from Monsters
he's Sully in
Inc.
Monsters Inc. Yeah.
I didn't realize he was Fred Flintstone from the show. Or
No.
No, not the show. The live-action movie.
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah, live-action movie. Yeah. Anyways.
The obvious answer is Dr. Scythe.
Scythe?
Whatever do you mean?
Dang, you know what? Yeah, she can step on me. Look, you all got to spell, but Scythe is definitely my babe.
I never said that I wanted her to step on me.
No, I'm agreeing with Taisa on this one as well. Like, I can simp both.
I don't like the idea of people stepping on me just in general. Also, I just realized the pun.
For who?
She was responsible for the execution of the professor, and her name is Scythe, like, you know, the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
We all just rendered that in real time.
Imagine if the convict who'd been sentenced to death was not in fact killed. Imagine if that was just to come to light. That was to come to light. What are you insinuating? I imagine if the convict in question was the country's most hated mass murderer. If it was the professor.
That would be an unprecedented scandal.
Objection!
This is beyond a joke. Even I point out that the dead cannot... Need I point out that the dead cannot come back to life? What you're suggesting would mean that the execution never actually happened.
Yes, exactly, actually.
I'm not in yet.
Who said that?
It's from...
Is the wax figure talking now? Oh shit.
No.
Be quiet. This ain't about you.
That was just a joke from Monty Python, the Holy Grail.
No. Yes, that's exactly what it would mean.
Objection!
Once a man is sent to the gallows, he hangs. No one could escape. Not in Great Britain.
Objection!
Are you sure about that? But the fact is, there was a witness to the fact that the man did escape his hanging.
If that were really true, Counsel, the implications of misconduct would not stop at the supervising coroner. It would take the honor of the entire judiciary, from the ground up.
Look, Ranosuke has exposed government secrets. He ain't gonna stop. What makes you think he's gonna stop? He's just gonna keep going. And
I've almost exposed British government secrets, and I'll do it again!
Yeah! And it's exactly because of those monumental repercussions that Dr. Scythe would consent to any demand made of her by someone who threatened to expose the secret, even if that meant being complicit in a crime.
You mean...
I mean that Dr. Scythe wasn't collaborating in Mr. Drebber's wicked scheme. She was coerced into collaborating in order to protect her decade-old secret. She switched the dead body of Mr. Asman with the waxwork model and fabricated the autopsy report. Ugh. No, leg.
That's cute, but can you back that up with a source?
Lord Van Zeeks.
Pray forgive my freshly filled hallowed chalice. And a whole raft of other discourtesies now.
Goodness me!
Oh, it's fine, don't worry about it. It's just the sort of tall tale Londoners would enjoy, I grant you. An executed killer rising from the dead. A Scotland Yard cover-up. A conspiracy at the highest level. It's just like one of my telenovelas.
Huh?
Your
What's
what?
So let me ask you one thing.
What's a telenovela, Susato?
Oh, no answer for you in that little book of yours? That's
Well,
fine.
no,
Anyway.
because the novella would be a type of story, but there's no entry on that yet because television won't be invented for another 40 years.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
I'm going to worry about it now.
What's that?
If the condemned man really did emerge from his tomb that night, only to be shot in the chest, who pulled the trigger? And disposed of him forever?
That truly is a mystery. Well, I have no idea at the moment, and why would I know at this time? That was 10 years ago, sir, and I wasn't
Again,
there
is
yet.
this not the investigator's job and not the defense's?
Why would I know
Did everyone
this
just
information?
forget that? Did everyone just forget that cops exist?
Yeah, well, we
They're
learned
competent?
They're incompetent? Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. I mean, Gregson, my boy, he does what he can, but I'm not going to say he's the best at it. And Gina's amazing, but
She can't read.
also, she likes playing with a puppy more. So
We have too little information to work out that at present, I think.
I couldn't agree more.
Oh, good, it's time for this again. The Old Bailey is no place for wild fantasies, my learned friend.
I mean, what about the guy who died in the fire of the carriage he brought in that one time?
We're not talking about that right now.
That's a pretty wild. That's a pretty wild fantasy. I'm just saying.
Well, we're not talking about that right now, are we?
Well, I know we're not, but you're saying there's no place for wild fantasies, and it seems like a wild fantasy did in fact happen here at least once.
I mean, that was not a wild fantasy because you saw it happen.
We didn't see it happen. Actually, only you saw it happen.
Excuse me, there were other people in the courtroom. Don't be ridiculous. Anyway, have you considered this, my learned Nipponese friend?
Considered what? It's Van Zeeks, by the way. It's not me.
Oh, God,
I'm just.
Now
I'm
who
just,
can't read?
I'm just staring people down. Don't mind me.
No, the camera cut, and I legit thought that was supposed to be. God, why would you do that? Okay. Do you realize just what a dangerous endeavor it would be to coerce this woman into such criminal activity? It's tantamount to declaring war on the entire British police force and judiciary.
Wait, hard to imagine a sum of money being offered for research could warrant it.
Rely on some stage deception when so much is at stake would be madness.
Well, I suppose.
And this was no petty crime either. The victim was murdered. A man who'd already invested money in the venture and would be instrumental in future profits, too.
Yes, I had no reason to kill Mr. Asman at all.
The photo?
You sure?
Or are you forgetting that his death results in me receiving not a single penny? The court is already aware of the contract between myself and the victim, no?
Ah, there is the contract. That's very true.
The motive for this case runs deep, though. I can feel it.
You see the threats of force. The head of the forensic investigation team to cooperate is extreme. Especially for a government grant he had no guarantee of receiving in the first place.
If the research grant was the aim, taking Mr. Asman's life would have made no sense anyway. Which means Mr. Drebber's motive wasn't money at all. He was just trying to kill Mr. Asman. But why? What was his motive then?
If only we could see his signature again.
Your time is up, my learned friend. I'd say you have one last chance before the jury loses their patience with this charade.
I don't know. I think maybe the jury is kind of entertained by this. It's like watching a sitcom.
What? A sitcom?
Yeah, sure. The suspense, the drama.
It's like my favorite telenovels come to life.
Let's see if you can back up your heady proposal, shall we?
Dodge.
Yes, I taught him that one. He's very good. His reflexes are very sharp.
Just casually dodging.
They need to be sharp. They need to be really sharp for this exact kind of purpose, actually.
I'm sorry.
So,
Just casually.
How do you
dodging.
explain why this engineer, he's gone through rigorous training. We're going to need to get past this if we want the trial to continue.
No, I don't think we will.
How do you explain why this engineer would throw all caution to the wind and threaten his own country?
Because he doesn't care?
At this point, I'm not prepared to listen to more of this outlandish conjecture without proof. So, Counsel, present your evidence.
Alright. Who exactly was Mr. Asmund to Drebber? There's a connection there that no one's seen yet.
I've seen it.
And I'm going to have to present 2 pieces of evidence to show what it is.
And I know what they are.
We added another evidence. We could do math. Yes, my lord. The evidence that establishes a motive and explains why the witness wanted the victim dead is right here. Alright, we got 2 evidence to present. What are we presenting first?
The contract and the photo.
In
They
that
both
order?
have the same signature, yeah.
I don't know. Whatever order people want to present it in. If the game's gonna be that pedantic about it, I'm not gonna answer that question.
Excuse me. Alright, we're gonna do the contract first?
I'm not sure if the order matters too much, but go
Alright,
off.
let's go. We have 5 penalties points here. We'll be fine. Mr. Drebber, I have here the contract that you signed with Mr. Asmund.
Yes, that's right. The very document, in fact. That proves I had no reason to kill the man.
No, I'm afraid not. As it turns out, this contract actually helps to establish the real motive for the murder you committed.
It does? Well, I never.
What are you talking about? Read it again, you idiot!
I'm not finished. In order to demonstrate what your motive really was, I need this contract and one other piece of evidence.
What other evidence?
Counsel, you will present your supplementary evidence without delay. The evidence, which when cross-referenced with the contract, establishes a motive for the deed. The newspaper. Boop.
Take that!
It's this newspaper article, my lord.
That was written 10 years ago. And every detail has been examined already. What could it possibly tell us?
Yeah, I don't think you were thorough enough, sir.
That dribble should never have been written. It's typical gutter press nonsense that means nothing.
But there's something significant that this newspaper article and the contract have in common.
Really?
And it's that common link that shows very clearly why you were determined to kill Mr. Odie Asmund.
It seems the fence has uncovered something the rest of us has missed.
Yeah, because you're all stupid.
No, please, enlighten us. So, my learned friend, point out what these 2 pieces of evidence have in common. Where exactly is the link between this newspaper article and the contract?
Did you guys just think that was like a fancy artist rendering of the ground right there, or what?
What are you talking about? That's a photographic print, obviously, right? I mean,
Okay.
there was a camera there, right? Yes?
Yes. Okay. Did you check the bottom right corner for what that
Oh,
bottom right
this-
corner thing meant?
That is clearly a photographic print. Like, the bottom right, that's, I don't know, that's just squiggles. Like,
He's grasping, Miss Naruhodo. He's grasping. You have him right in the palm of your hand.
Don't worry, I got him. I got him. I got him. What these 2 pieces of evidence have in common is a signature.
A signature?
a signature.
A signature.
A signature?
The signature on the illustration that accompanies the 10-year-old article and the signature on the contract belong to the same person.
What?
Got him. As the court has heard, this illustration was drawn 10 years ago by the newspaper reporter who found Mr. Drebber and interviewed him about his ordeal. If you look closely, the reporter's signature can be seen in the bottom right corner of the drawing. And if you look at the contract here, which was signed between the witness and the victim last year, you can clearly see Mr. Asman's signature at the bottom. Enoch Drever's, like, handwriting is very, it's very curvy in, like, the Disney S curve.
Yeah.
You know? You're watching the Disney Channel. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh my god.
Oh, I can't wait to see him have to draw the logo poorly, like all these other kids who were instructed to draw the logo, and they're like, okay, not like that, but this is how you're supposed to draw it. No, we don't want that. Draw it poorly.
The funny thing is, some of them don't even know what they were drawing anyway. So,
I know.
Like, that was like, why couldn't you just tell them they're drawing Mickey Mouse ears? I don't, whatever, man. Anyway.
Let me see.
Ba-ba-ba-da.
Let me see now. Good lord, yes, they're identical.
In short, the journalist who drew the illustration and wrote the article published by Mr. Drever 10 years ago was the victim of this case, Mr. Odie Asman.
Excuse me?
You like did like the Squidward thing?
Golden brass, my friend!
Or like the
Bold
lungs
and
of the
brass.
trash.
I was waiting for that.
I know you were.
But explain to the court why. Why does it belong in the trash? Why would that constitute a motive for the witness to murder Asman?
Oh my, okay, we have to spell it out? Okay, well, if
Yes, spell it out. That is your job.
No, I think that's kind of yours.
Well, if you think back, you'll remember that Mr. Drever talked about that article in his testimony. Let's flash back to like 2 minutes ago or something.
Grave robbing, you say?
Yes, exhuming fresh corpses to sell is reasonably lucrative.
That is quite beyond the pale. You would invite divine retribution, sir.
Yes, well, I think I suffered retribution enough. The Daily Circus eventually unearthed my name and put it in print. It caused me a great many headaches. In the end, I had to leave the university. That was the only paper with the bad grace to identify me unambiguously, I might add. Then I gave up on my dream of becoming a scientist, and it was all because of that newspaper article.
There's like literally no salt in this man at all. Nope, not at all. He's not salty about any of this.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Oh, no, there is salt. It's, that's how he turned his hair white.
We're being sarcastic.
At the time, you were a student at the University of London who dreamt of becoming a scientist. However, the single newspaper article changed your entire life.
So Mr. Asman used to be a newspaper journalist, did he?
He did, my lord.
Wait, if you knew that...
No, don't ask questions.
I'm going...
just it sounds like the Kermit angry sound.
That's exactly what I was going for.
KB's like, I'm gonna make effing lose it. In fact, it's a widely held belief that Asman managed to position himself at the heart of his criminal network, thanks to the many dubious connections he made during his time as a reporter. But remember, still not motive, by the way.
You had to give up on your dream and leave university. You lost everything. Eventually, you found yourself working in the field of science, but only in the shadows. And all because of that article, written by Mr. Asman.
Enough!
No.
Oh, I think we hit a nerve. We hit a nerve.
Stop this endless drivel about my life.
Huh? Explain yourself, Mr. Drever.
Yes, it's true. I had to leave the university as a result of that article. But it was just a straw that broke the camel's back.
What do you mean?
Almost every student of science in the faculty was too poor to actually conduct any research. But they struggled on with their hypotheses anyway. We all did, only to have them taken by vultures. Sooner or later, you knew your ideas would be stolen and patented by some wretch or the other, after all.
Good gracious.
I'm totally not salty. Anyway, making a name for yourself as a scientist in a climate like that was a miracle only a select few geniuses could ever hope to achieve. Personally, I wasn't one of those geniuses, so it was hardly a wrench.
Are you sure about that? I mean, we got this trophy sitting in our evidence here.
Being forced out of the university because of Locate was the best thing that could have happened to me.
Objection. Mr. Drebber, do you genuinely believe that?
Of course I do. Who's better placed to know whether or not I possess a talent for science than me?
I think a board of scientists.
I'm sorry to say that your words don't ring true at all.
How dare you!
And I have evidence to prove it.
How are you in a position to say anything about me? I don't know you from Adam. Fine, if you think you have the evidence, go ahead, show it.
Okay, we'll do that.
What could you possibly have to disprove the idea that I was happy to leave university because I lack talent? What could you possibly have? Did you steal that from my room, you son of a bitch?
I mean, for this very moment is the reason why I stole it, sir. Do you remember this, Mr. Drebber? We found it at your workshop.
Is that a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science?
What exactly is this trophy, Council?
It's the greatest honor that can be bestowed on a young scientist, my lord.
There's no higher accolade. It recognizes emerging talent and promises a bright future.
Good gracious.
Your prospects for the future were excellent, weren't they, Mr. Drebber? Because even then, you were a genius in your field. But you lost everything. You had no more future. Your talents would go to waste. All as a result of this one newspaper article. I don't know when you realized who Mr. Asman was, but when it dawned on you that he was the same journalist who 10 years ago ruined your life, it's abundantly clear that you had no intention of forgiving the man.
The truth is...
Finally, he's going to fold.
Oh, honey.
Huh?
They were like, fold these nuts!
Okay. Oh dear. Fine. Clearly, this has run its course now.
What?
He's freaking out as if, like, he just realized she was there. Just the way he's, like, freaked out.
Almost got the way you did this whole time!
I'm here too, but no one seems to care that I'm here as well.
I admit it. All of it. Huh?
What?
What indeed? I think we're just gonna stop there for now because, I guess Sai finally wants to speak up just before Drebber was about to admit. So, yeah. We'll continue this in the next video, guys.